People have just been telling kind of their journey of how they came to Clemson, such as like, I don't know, did you grow up in a family that was all about Clemson? Had you never heard of it? Are you from the South? Are you, kind of stuff like that.
Okay. My journey to Clemson. It might take a little while here, but I'm originally born and raised in Ohio.
Okay.
And I lived there until I was 23, and I enlisted in the Marines. And I served in the Marines for a little over 5 years. A couple of deployments to Iraq. I was stationed out of Southern California at Camp Pendleton. And during my last deployment to Iraq, I was towards the end of my career in the Marines, and I had a good girl who we're engaged now, all these years later. This
awesome.
is 2008. And realized I was not going to make a career out of the military. And after 5 years in infantry, I was pretty beat up and wore out, so I was going to go back to college. I was not going to go back to Ohio. And so, some spare time I had in Iraq at the time, I was able to get online. I was researching colleges. And this kind of started by region. And I was like, Southeast sounds fun. Or, they got mountains and oceans, and let's go check that out. And started researching and coming up with some schools, and Clemson kind of immediately got my attention. And then I also knew that if I went back to college, I didn't want to do anything that would keep me in an office. And so I was looking into the forestry department stuff at first. And of course, when it comes to the natural resources side, Clemson has a very well-known program. And so I had it in my mind, like I was going to get out of the Marines, and I came back from Iraq. I got out and picked up my girl in Ohio, and we got the dog and moved down here. And that was beginning of 2009. First lived around the Charlotte area for a couple months to get settled in the state. We were in, what's that little town, Rock Hill?
That's where I'm from.
Okay, cool. So we lived there for a while, and at that point I started making appointments to come down here to talk with faculty and department chairs and to see what it'd be like coming to college again. I mean, I'm 32 now. I was in my late 20s when I started this process, and I had no idea what college was going to. It was scary to me, which is kind of funny because I'd been through a lot at that point in my life already, and then eventually moved down to Anderson. Had to go to Tri-County for a couple semesters to transfer into Clemson, and then when I got here, I discovered the wildlife biology department. I knew that's where I belonged with wildlife biology, and it's been the entire time focusing on the environment, conservation issues. And, I was trying to save all the little critters out there. And I'm fixing to graduate here in December, and I'm really hoping to come back next fall to start my master's research if everything pans out. So it was definitely an odd roundabout journey, but Clemson has been really great for me. I'm so glad I found it, and everything, the stars aligned the way it did, and everything brought me here because I feel like I really belong here, and it's been very refreshing and therapeutic as well.
Great.
So
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
yeah.